Oh man, I'm gonna screw up names again. By the way, if you're listening tonight, I apologize, or watching the VODs. But for Method, we do have Strebber, Silent, Ely, Toy, and Justin. And for Team Cozy, got Invert, Stanislaw, Dumore, Drossel, and Drake is gonna start things off here
Drake,
with
man.
actually something very slow and passive or patient for the T side.
Yeah, I was glad Drake was able to release that mixtape with Future last week, which gave him enough time to be able to play tonight. So
Is it good?
It was all right.
I used to hate
Drizzy
Drake. He played a wheelchair, a kid in a wheelchair in Degrassi, but
Oh yeah, that's right. The Canadian.
but he's actually pretty good, putting 416 on the map. T-Dot represent first kill, Justin, and getting a second one actually from inside the pit, and that actually drops two of them that were trying to work up towards this A bomb site. But funny thing for me right now is that Drossel dies, and I had no mini maps on the T side, but they actually made it inside the A bomb site for Stanislaw and Dumore, so they did try to go for that split that did not work.
Yeah, I mean, just the cat part of it got cut off completely there by Justin with those two frags, and now it's all up to 2 more in a 1 versus 4 with the Glock, and he'll just get shot in the side of the head there from Toy. So just well defended there from Method, especially just defending that catwalk push with Justin. That was absolutely huge. Those first 2 kills really just kind of set the pace for the round, and that is Method taking the lead here at 1-0. Of course, they'll begin to buy out the FAMASs and such. Pretty FAMAS heavy, actually, despite the fact there was no bomb plant. It's a little different, I guess, but we'll see how it plays out. Tech-9s are out for Coast.
That's it, especially if you're going to plow with Tech-9s in armor, if you're going to be able to clear out the B side or whatever you're trying to push as a team and hurt the economy of Method. Even though they win the round, it's going to be a little bit of a harder bar for them on the second round or the third round after. So we'll see what's going to happen with that. They're actually going to try to go aggressively up on this catwalk, take control of that first by smoking up on the Xbox. But really, there's only going to be one lurking and try to get some information.
Oh, yeah, Drossel just tried to hop down and see if he could get a kill there from Cat. Didn't work, and now everyone's transitioning to what looks to be some type of mid to B hit. 3 coming mid to B, 1 bringing that bomb into tunnels. But yeah, that smoke misses, and Justin makes him pay for it.
Yeah, and that's already going to be a 4-on-1 situation, so that heavy investment that they had with the FAMAS is just fine because Toy's going to pick up the FAMAS left behind by Justin, and even before Justin died, he was able to get a trip kill of his own, so that is money well spent.
Yeah, just catching that initial kind of surprise tactic there from Coach trying to drop down from Cat to CT spawn. They were able to sniff that out and take care of it before it had any type of impact. And then, yeah, just as you know, that smoke not really landing in CT spawn that well. And they definitely suffered the price for that, as now they're just on full Glocks and 1 P250, 1 smoke here from Stanislaw. Lots of nades going off here at the entrance of B-Tunnels to begin with. And, I mean, they're about to get run through the blender here. They're about to get crushed, I feel like.
Ely with that nade coming through. That's going to hurt Drossel down to 47. Another molly to hold things out for a bit in favor of the CT side. But nobody's budging, as you can see. Exactly. And you don't see anything happening right now for T side. They're just holding it. They're really just going to try to push through this smoke, and they're just going to get plowed. This is going to be it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why teams do that on eco rounds.
Let's just check the bomb plant down. If not, let's just go for the sacrifice for guns in the round after.
It seems like, I mean, everyone, like even my girlfriend knows that people might rush B on an eco round like that.
Hey, how's she doing tonight, by the way?
She's doing pretty good. So
nice.
I mean, most teams will just dedicate 2 players watching B tunnels on save rounds like that, just because they know that that's a huge option. And I mean, time and time again, like we watched last night on Dust 2 and many other recent games, people just get destroyed trying to make that play. But now we do have the AKs here. Method keeping on all those FAMASs, not upgrading. They have given up long A, however, because of this super double cat push from Justin and Silent. So they are definitely changing things up on the CT side, being way more aggressive.
They're gonna
but Invert catches one. Does he get the other? He knows he's there. Doesn't get it.
Drossel's going to come back for the revenge kill, though, and he will do so quite easily. So they did have that boost up on catwalk for the CT side to push aggro there, but as they're creeping through, Stanislaw is just around the corner there at mid double doors, so he might be able to get a double kill of his own just right there as soon as the timing is right. So overall, 4-on-3 situation.
Yeah, really, really well done from Coast to pick up on that aggression. Method changing things up from what we saw last night, but it just didn't yield the result that they wanted. Meanwhile, there's still long A control from Coast. They will step out long B. They don't even check, and Stanislaw gets 2 free kills. And that's probably the round, right? Unless Toy comes up with something incredible.
And Toy's the only one that purchased for that round there with the M4. It's a 4 versus 1. There's 30 seconds left on the clock. And they're actually going to push towards long for the T side to get the bomb plant towards A. So it's going to come down to this 1 versus 1 between Stanislaw and Toy. Stanislaw is going to grab the upper hand out of that. So that's going to be the round 14 Coast on the board. Now, this is one thing that I mentioned yesterday here, Dust. When they actually went for heavy FAMASs on the second round, it's a tough gamble when going for the full gun round when nobody's died. You have the
Yeah,
weaker weapons against AK-47s, and
absolutely.
it showed.
Yeah, that and it's just like appropriate responses. I mean, taking what they're given, taking long A since no one was really putting any presence there. They didn't hear any noise, didn't hear any nades, so they just walked out. And then Invert just really keying in on that cat push. I mean, that was big to pick that up before it would have any impact in the round. And of course, you just see Stanislav picking up some free kills in lower B, cutting off that rotate. So we are going to see Team Coast here with the AKs again, just trying to work up cat. Bomb has been left outside long A, and Method's in more of a default CT position, and they do have Silence Op watching that cross instead of being stuck in the long A. So this is definitely an adjustment from last night that I think was definitely needed.
Yeah, but still a very passive mid side, though. They're going to smoke
Right.
for mid, but at least it's a good position for Ely right now, who's spotting it from mid double doors. But they're going for that two, quote-unquote, 1-2 setup for the CT side. Now they're going to try to make a little bit of a noise. It's looking to be a fake, and then the bomb's making its way towards upper B. So they're going to fake up towards cat and do a mid to B.
Absolutely. The smoke is dissipated on CT spawn, however, but Stanislaw, he's been able to slip into a pretty cheeky position here. I think he's actually inside CT spawn, and he's going to be able to cut off rotates there. He does pick up Justin, but the B defense has held pretty well so far. They're still a man up here on Method.
Yeah, the platform is going to be Strebber, but traded out by Ely, who's still inside the site in front of the car. But Stanislaw is still battling on north side at A. So now it comes down to a 1 versus 1. Invert will be able to get a bomb plant, and Toy's all the way towards CT spawn, and he does have a kit, so it could still be a push, actually, for Toy to try to win this 1 versus 1.
Invert just catches the perfect timing pushing through window, though. And well done from Coast. I mean, just getting Stanislaw inside CT spawn was so big. No one even really noticed it, and he gets 2 kills from that position to cut off the main part of that rotation from Method. I would say Method put up a pretty decent initial mid defense, however. It's just they couldn't get any help from their team because Stanislaw was busy cutting them off, and eventually it caught up to him there. So another round goes to Coast, and now Method has to save.
It was also the fact that Stanislaw was able to get a second one from CT spawn up towards long when it was a 2 versus 1. That's not something that should have happened, but on this save now, they're stacking up towards long A, and the 3 guys have been dispatched on Method's side. So that is now going to be a 5-on-2, easy for them to make it across and go for the plan. Invert is still watching that flank and also just lurking around to make sure that he cut over the rotations. He'll get support at the same time for Dumore. So it's going to be the easy round for Team Coast again.
Yeah, I mean, Method actually did stack, I guess, the appropriate side for what came their way, but they just couldn't win any of the battles there. Just easily handled by Dumore, Drosso, and Drake all getting a piece there on that strong long A control, and they will tie this game up at 3-all. Method should be back on a bye next round.
Yep.
And they will have enough money to get whatever it is that they want, so they could get the op back in Silence Hand, see what he wants to do with it. You notice that Team Coast has not gone to an op just yet, probably still won't, as they haven't lost any players in a little bit, so no need to do any type of rebuying. And they're using Invert in kind of a lurker position since he doesn't have the op in his hand, so that's kind of interesting to see.
Yeah, now if they actually are going to go for an op, I think one of them is going to have to play small armor because the highest one is at 54. Yeah, so we'll see what Justin's going to do. I think at this point we're just going to opt for M4s across the board. They're still trying to figure it out, and yeah, they're going to just go for rifles this round. Can't afford AWPs, but the advantage is that Invert doesn't have one his own.
Yeah, I mean, Team Coast hasn't really needed it. They're just doing like really aggressive map control grabs, mostly over at Long A, just using those rifles to win those duels, and that's been really big for them here, as we will see Method put an initial 2 men over at Long A. That's going to be Silent and Toy. Toy will just get inside the pit, and Silent will likely back off. We have the NOA here at mid, so they're looking to try to have an impact with that in the early part of the round, while Drossel lurks inside the B tunnels with Strebber on the other side.
They should already move positions away, though. When that smoke is taken on the top of catwalk, sometimes people would start creeping across that, and you see absolutely nothing actually on CS:GO. Like NOA stack was popular in 1.6.
Right.
When you
Well,
do have a smoke on catwalk, you still kind of see through it.
it does allow them to keep 2 long A, though, because they don't have to worry about their catwalk. So that's the one advantage they gain from this, but it just doesn't matter. Coach is just storming through, grabbing the entry anyway. Now Silent's stuck in a tough spot, trying to flash out and grab a kill. He does get one, and he will smartly back off, and now we have ourselves a 4v4 here in the mid-round.
Yeah, and again, with all of them at virtually this identical health, so Silent is able to fall back towards the A bomb site, and just going to go for that 2-1-1 this time with suppressing more defense towards the A side. But at this point, they're just stacking up getting ready for a fake at mid and lurk up towards Catwalk. So Ely's going to get that kill onto double doors. Drossel is trying to get the entry frag. And looks like Silent played a pretty obvious spot there on the outside of the elevator. Nade's going to come through. We're going to have to play the retake. And Ely's actually going to be able to drop the bomb carriers. So that's going to be now 12 seconds remaining on the round. Stanislav is going to pick it up, at least add some money in the bank for Team Coast.
And it's somewhat planted for long A, so Dumore does have a chance at this, especially Stanislav can pick up one before he goes down, which he is eyeing Justin at CT spawn, but now he's so exposed to Cat, and he will get picked up.
Good trade coming through, or good bait first from CT spawn for Ely to come out and get that kill. Last one is spotted inside that pit. No is being called because I don't think it did. So the easy defuse comes through.
Smoke, got it.
Yeah, Justin gets the kill with the M4.
Yeah, nice little attempt there from Dumore to try to put the Molotov on the bomb. Unfortunately for him, Method had the smoke to extinguish it. And then that even
it was a molly he threw, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And there was a smoke on the A platform, so I have to assume it either got extinguished or it was just a bad timing.
Or he threw a smoke.
No, he definitely threw a Molotov.
Molly,
so it extinguished the Molly, and it also provided cover. So that was just a GG smoke grenade, basically, as well as just Coast losing too much, getting that bomb inside the site. Method defending really well, catching Drossel at mid, being able to stay alive, silent. That was big to get that initial trade and get out of there, remain alive for later. So good job there from Method. They finally put a point on the board after losing 3 in a row. Op is going to be in the hands of Invert, however, for the first time, and Coast just going quick mid to B.
It's going to be dangerous here, too, if they lose this round 4 Method. It resets their money, and then they're going to rack up the economy with the ops. The AK is coming through from Method's side. Miscommunication there of how they wanted to do the boost, but at least Ely's able to stay alive long enough to get the first kill so far, and to give enough time for the teammates to rotate across as well. Silent going to work, picking up the AK-47 after, but Dumore's waiting at mid double doors, then loses that battle 1 versus 1 against Justin. And finally, Strebber picks up the last one, and that was actually a great round and a great hold by Ely to start things off inside B.
I think Coast just slowed things down too much. So, like, they got 4 people out of the double doors initially, but they only sent 2 of those people to actually try to take into B, while they left 2 to watch the smoke and cut off rotates. They should have probably just left 1 there, kind of commit 3 to the actual B. You don't need both players just parked there outside CT spawn, catching rotates while your other 2 guys are dying inside the B bomb sites, especially since Invert's op in B tunnels couldn't really get out. There was a smoke blocking him there for quite some time, so he couldn't really assist his team either. So it kind of just became an even 2v2, despite the fact they had gotten so many numbers out of mid and isolated those 2 players on the B side of the map. They didn't really work their numbers well. But now they're still bought up here. They still have the op in Invert's hands. We do see them beginning to work themselves up the catwalk here.
Yeah, and it's the same position being held by Silent this time, just at the lower side of the A ramp, just to look up on the catwalk through the little opening that he's got. But it should, half of his body should be peeking out right now to give a chance for Invert to go for a quick scope if he wanted to. Lots of flashes are being thrown at the same time, but it still comes down to how they're going to hold this. I think this incendiary grenade is going to get thrown by Silent very soon just to try to hold him off. No, he's just going to hold back inside his sight, throw it a smoke, but as he peeks out, Invert capitalizes on that mistake.
Yeah, really nicely done there by Invert. Now they just have Toy inside long A. They do have Justin here in CT spawn, trying to see if he can spot anyone, show their head on the platform, but not going to be the case here. But they still at least have that long A control. Drake didn't really attack that. He's actually coming back to the catwalk. So there's a chance that Toy can still come up long A and help this out, as Ely and Justin have been able to find 1 pick and equalize it into a 4-on-4.
A retake's coming through. Dumore still playing towards quad box. There's 2 guys watching the flank towards catwalk. So they still have very good positioning and a good way to hold this bomb right now, as Stanislav is able to get the op kill onto Ely. Dumore then playing that quad, and Stanislav, as soon as he comes off that blind grenade, gets the headshot onto Toy. It was planning for them too towards catwalk, so no stress for them.
Yeah, just kind of realizing that Toy is the long A player for Method, and they hadn't taken care of him. They knew that the safest thing was to go ahead and play him for catwalk, and that's what they did, and they were just able to hold it really effectively. I mean, Dumore and Stanislav combined just got 3 really quick frags there at the end to pretty much kill the retake, and that'll force Method again onto another save. A great opportunity for Coast to go ahead and tie this game up at 5-all, as we do just see them, setting up in default. There is huge aggression on Cat, though, coming from Method.
Yeah, they did go for the stack there with that boost, but they're just going to play it close. One guy's going to spot it first. Oh, Justin should be able to see him, but whiffs the deagle shots. Now they're going to have to push through. They're going to try to go for that trade. Nice flashes coming across, so everybody's blinded, but Justin, except for Justin, and he just couldn't connect his deagle shots, and because of that, they take over the cat, and it's going to be just Ely, the last man standing.
You got it, mate. You
Thank
made
you.
it. And
was
Coast
a
will
struggle.
close out the round. I also need to give a shout out to someone else today. Tabson from Penta Esports is our observer tonight. So imagine that. The European staying up late.
He knows what's up.
Help us out over here on the NA side of things. And it's always cool to have someone with as much experience as Tabson has to be able to control the camera. I mean,
CEVO must play very well for cameramen. For
I
you
guess,
to
dude.
stay
I know
up.
we don't make anything, so I guess they really... I mean, Tabson, man, making that money.
Legend. Now it's going to be the gun round coming through for Method. Silent on the top of the catwalk. So you mentioned it at the beginning of the game here, Dust, to try to have a little bit of the advantage or change the positioning a little bit with the AWP from time to time towards that A bomb site. So they went for that boost. He tried to go for that peek towards catwalk. He did spot one guy, but missed the shot. So they're going to have just to readjust there. But look how close they're playing towards this B halls.
Yeah, they just flash the smoke, but Strebber's blind as well, but he'll recover first. He grabs one, but Invert there for the immediate trade, so they didn't work out well. But Ely, he's still here. He'll get the bomb down,
That's
but Coast
crazy.
has taken the site from mid. But now they have to work in the tunnels and grab this bomb. That gives Method so much time to rotate the rest of their players through CT spawn.
Nice. Drake coming out the window, though. Saw one moving out, but only puts him down to 16 HP. Should have capitalized on that kill. But shoulda, coulda, woulda. Now they're just going to readjust towards the lower B for the CT side. Overlook this bomb, and it's going to be one tough feat right now for Stanislaw and company to come back and get this bomb because they only have 2 flashes remaining. So they're going to have to count on Doomore to flash in for them to take it, maybe.
Ooh, but Stanislaw just gets the kill straight up and does grab the
Why
bomb.
peek?
And yeah, I mean, Silent just a free kill. They're on to do more. And now it's a 2 versus 3 here. So I like what Method has done. The mid to B was coming in. Rather than split their attention, they just focused 2 players up on tunnels and have caused so much chaos for Coast. And now they're a man down trying to see if they can get this bomb plan, but there's still 1 op in tunnels.
Wow, Drake wasn't even paying attention,
What?
but he lines up both of them. Are you kidding me? Now it's a 2 versus 1. Toy makes it a 1 versus 1, and
Wow.
Drake. Both of them were so low in terms of HP. I think they're both at under 15 HP, and Drake was able to win that round for Coast. And you know what's funny? First off, there was a mistake by Doomore by peeking after they pick out the bomb. At least he gets information. After that, Drake hurt the op shot. Well, actually heard it, but had no idea where he came from. He never looked back towards tunnels, and he did a wide peek after on platform, and somehow managed to line up both of them.
And that's a tough round for Mythics. I felt they did everything right. Like I said, the mid to B pressure came in. They focused up both their players on tunnels. They got the bomb down. They caught another pick. They had a man advantage, but then Drake just makes such a heads-up play with those last 3 kills. Things you can't really account for happen there, and it helped Coast win the round. They're back onto forcing Method to save, and they already have a bomb plant. This round's pretty much over, and Coast will go ahead and extend that lead to 7-5.
Yeah, just 1 guy remaining. It's going to be Toy with the P250 looking for exits. Catches Stanislaw off guard, but not able to connect with the P250s. Now he's just going to get aim punched by the P90. That's adding more money in the bank for Stanislaw with that $600 kill. And now it's going to be 3 more rounds remaining in this first half. And Team Coast it's actually a pretty close game, and Method's doing quite well, actually, to get 5 rounds out of 12.
Yeah, I mean, they look better than they did last night, for sure. They seem to be having a little bit more success than they did yesterday, or at least it looks cleaner to me. They I mean, some of the rounds they've lost have just been sick plays from Coast, not necessarily any mistakes or anything on their part over on Method. So I think they've done better for sure.
Ooh,
as
that's
they will
aggro.
Yeah, the very, very aggressive double rifle setup here. Silent didn't have the op, so he will just get up close here on the doors, and they have a 4-on-4. He can't really get out of here. He's kind of stuck here, and he will get dispatched. And so there you have it, man advantage here for Coast, as they do have that long A control, but they'll just leave 1 behind and double back. Yeah,
and that's actually pretty good, because they saw from that information that battle to happen towards long, okay, there's at least 3 guys towards long. They forced to rotate. Now 2 of them were playing towards the A side. They decide to fall back, leave 1 behind to lurk towards long. And now we have an aggressive push by Strebber, but they're waiting for him right there.
Yeah, he didn't peek out, though. Very well done. Strebber stays patient. He doesn't peek out and give away his position. He just holds the angle, and then he's gifted 2 frags. They're really well done. Now, Team Coast, they had that 1 guy still long A lurking over there that was invert with the op, so they will bring the bomb back that direction, and they could get this bomb planted still. I mean, there's really no one to directly contest him except for Justin, and they just need to get past him, and then they have a bomb plant. So we'll see how that works. But
they're there too.
Yeah, there's no smoke. They hadn't smoked across either. They're just letting invert peek it with the op.
Oh, he whiffs it, though. And then Justin's on top of Cat at break, takes him down, so the Opera's down as well. So it's a 3 versus 1. They will get the bomb plant, though.
They do. What can Do More do here in a 1 versus 3? All 3 will be retaking from Cat. Lots of nades coming in. I mean, oh my goodness.
Can he do more?
He cannot. Not when you have all that stuff in your face. But
Yeah, that's what she said.
indeed she did just a few moments ago, in fact. But
Ew! All right, the fuse comes
Whoa.
in. They don't need a kit. Method gets it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a family show. So Justin's gonna get the defuse, like you said. Lots of grenades being thrown. Nothing that Dumore could have done there to try to hold that 3 versus 1. Yeah,
Well,
maybe actually after that plan, he could have went towards that A ramp just to get a little bit more cover. But
I mean, really, the 2 key things there was obviously Strebber getting that flank and getting those 2 kills in T-spawn. That was massive. And then, Coast making the conscious decision not to smoke the cross and actually just let their Opera invert take the duels, and he missed both his shots. I mean, that was kind of the 2 key moments of that round to allow Method to close one out and now give themselves a chance to tie it back up here. They have the op back in Silent's hands. They have him posted up over here at long A for now. 2 playing inside B. Team Coast gathering up at the back of Cat with 1 lurking tunnel. So we could see mid to B again. They've been doing that quite a lot, or we could see them take their luck up the catwalk. We'll just see what they decide to do here as they do begin to work themselves up.
And the amount of rounds that they picked up in economy for T-side, and on top of that getting a bomb plant for Team Coast, gives an advantage for Stanislaw and company to go for full gun rounds, especially putting the op in the hands back of Invert. Yeah, he didn't get the op shot when they tried to go for the cross. Hopefully he could redeem himself this round here. But 7-6 is our score in favor of Team Coast. They're trying to go for this smoke for spawn mid to spawn, but they're going to capitalize to try to take over this catwalk area.
And they have a lot of Molotovs to flush on out of the site here to bounce it off of the pizza sign and kill him. And they actually try to do a cat drop down, but Justin catches the first one on Silent. They haven't been able to nade him out. He gets a kill. Finally, it gets traded. And now we have a 3 versus 3. The bomb is making its way into the site, but Mets still have a decent shot at retaking this.
Now they gotta get the bomb plant now, and then Drake again coming up big on these clutch situations. 3 versus 2, turning things around into 2 versus 1 in favor of Team Coast, but Stanislaw is so low right now, but sometimes 11 HP is all you need. Strebber's making a lot of noise, so they're gonna hear him at elbow. They're probably going for a double peek here, and they only need Drake.
Yeah, Drake was big there to catch the long A part of that retake, just catching 2 really quick kills, finding the final one there as well. So Coast will secure the half here as they do have the 8 rounds, and they should be able to push it around further. I mean, Method, again, I mean, they've had to save a lot this half of around. Their economy's really been in shambles. It's mostly just been because they've never been able to streak more than 2 rounds in a row. So, they had the 3-0 start, but since then, it's just 3 rounds here and there. So never being able to get their economy going, being reset twice this half. Yeah, that certainly hurt them.
And reset for the last round here. But they're pushing aggressively. What a flash! Good teammate. Good team play to actually push up on towards that catwalk. They actually dropped the bomb carrier at the same time, and now Justin's left by himself at mid. He's gonna get taken down by Drake. They're pushing out towards the A long. He kills him blinded. Ooh.
Yeah, just the awareness, there from Drake kind of realizing, hey, they're putting pressure on me. Cat, I got that kill. That long A guy is probably about to push me. They've been super aggressive. Why wouldn't he be as well? And I mean, he just anticipated it perfectly despite being blind. He knew it was up and connected the shot. And I have to say, I mean, we talked about how Stanislaw has been a guy to put up really big numbers. And there it is again, 17 frags. He's just doing that every game for this team. But Drake is really the one who stepped up, though, and made some really big plays this half at 15 frags. I mean, he had a great game.
Oh, yeah, he clutched when he needed to. If it's not for his clutches, it wouldn't be 9-6 right now for Team Coast. Absolutely. It would have been the advantage coming in for Method side, actually, because like we mentioned, it was situations where they're falling behind by 1 or 2 in terms of people's situation within the round, and Drake just simply turns it around with lineups. So a little bit of luck there, but, it's just like golf. You need a lot of skill, but you need some luck as well to pull out the nicest things ever from time to time.
I think the point would just be that while Stanislaw is the top fragger, I feel like Drake had the biggest impact that half for sure with some of those clutch plays you were discussing. Just overall, though, a pretty solid team effort there from Coast. I mean, despite the fact that Dumore was a bit more quiet than usual, they still did put up a good half there with 9-6 moving in onto their CT side. They can take pistol here. They'll jump out to a big lead, but at the same time, Method, they can get it. They'll tie this game right back up, and they're right back in the game. And we did see yesterday against fellow esports, they can be successful on that terrorist side, but they need to be a bit more diverse because I feel like last night, once their main tactic got shut down, they didn't have much else to go to be able to put rounds on the board. So they're gonna have to be a little bit more, open-minded, like to do different things if they're gonna have a successful half here against Coast.
Unless they're going to rush B every single round like they usually
Yeah.
do, and then Toy could actually step it up. We'll see what's going to happen as they're starting the second half of this first map between Method and Team Coast, brought to you by Alpha Draft, your place to play fantasy esports. We're going to look at the T side, holding it slowly on the outside, so they're not going for any rushes. They did have B spawns to start, but they're playing it passively, while Coast, on the other hand, pushed 2 men aggressively towards the long A double doors.
Yeah, Invert just anchoring it here, and he did get a little bit of shots there onto Silent. He's just going to hold this position while the other two have fallen back into the A side, so they've kind of left him behind, to be honest, kind of left them stranded there. Method is doing a strong long A attack, is going to pick him up, and now it's Coast playing a man down.
Yeah, you're going to call for the rotation right away because you saw 4 guys play out. You saw the bomb coming in at the same time, but now that it's calmed down just for a tad as they see Dumore shooting some P2K shots out from the A side, Drake also from Elevator, we're going to decide to fall back here and just readjust, maybe take this B control this time. They don't have any smokes to work with, so it's smart for them to not go through double doors to go to B, so they're just going to go for a 5-man plow towards this B bomb site, but
Right.
Drossel is waiting there on platform.
Yeah, he's the only guy, though. But Coast has to kind of realize that the pressure has been let up over at Long A, so they should be rotating here pretty soon, or at least get Drake in position to rotate. Maybe leave it kind of a couple behind today. And there is Drake. He is starting to move in the CT spawn. He is actually starting to cross the double doors where he will meet Silent. But Drossel's going to have to be big here at the back of B platform.
Nope.
Oh, my
Never.
goodness.
One tap piece. Drake retaliates back, though, and he's looking back towards the B-bomb site. Tappity tap, and then jump shotted by Justin with the Glock. Easy plant coming through, and this is a big round for Method.
Yeah, it's big. I mean, I don't know if you'd call it an over-rotation or not, but as soon as Method put a bunch of pressure on Long A and got that initial pick, Coast pretty much moved everyone to A except for Drossel at the back of the B platform, and he never really got any assistance despite the fact that the pressure let up on Long A, and Method should have probably had an idea, hey, maybe they're not attacking this anymore. They didn't really rotate. They just kind of gambled, which you kind of have to do that when you're a man down, but they just gambled a stack on the A site, and it just wasn't the right call, unfortunately, for them as the Method went B, and now they're going to work to tie this game up at 9-all, as long as they don't get ecoed.
No map control over to get any information for the CT side. So last two guys trying to see the investments that they had at the beginning of the round by buying those armor to actually maybe go for 5-7 full armor, of course, with the rest of their team this time around.
Right, so we'll see if, in fact, Method can just go ahead and get this tie. They should be able to, but Stanislav does have the scout over here for Coast, which we know what type of havoc that thing can cause, as well as some upgraded pistols. If you can tag some people, those pistols can come up big. He does peek mid, doesn't find anything, but it's going to be a pretty strong B push here up to Dumore's Deagle.
Tags one. Trying to smoke it out, but his butt is sticking out towards his double box. He's going to get spammed across, and also they're spamming through the doors. Stanislav's down at 4 HP, so this is going to be an easy take towards his B bomb site, but Strebber trying to peek out, and a flame coming through by Drake. Oh my god, but at least it's a trade frag by Invert, so it's a 3 versus 3. Stanislav's at 4 HP.
Man,
Let's see what's going to happen.
If Drake couldn't have got that kill and got this into a 4v3, there might have been a chance here, but I think Method should be able to close this out now, but never mind. Also gets to pick B tunnels, and now it's a 3 versus 2, and the scout is going to be peeking the back of B plat, but goes down. This is such a crazy round.
Now down to a 2 versus 1. Invert has full armor, though, with the Galil creeping inside the site, but he's spotted. He gets the first one. It's a 1 versus 1. He hurts the economy. He takes it down. He picks up a kit, too.
He might get this.
Yeah, he's got it.
Does.
He's got it. A 4K for Invert.
What a round. It was so crazy how he just took the hits from the long B platform. He didn't allow that to rattle him, though. He kept his focus on the site player. He played the 1v1 duels perfectly there, and what a clutch from Invert to win that 1 versus 2 right there at the end. Big, big round there from Coast that completely kills Method. They do have enough money to force up 1 op on Silent. Well, this is a weird broken buy, man. I don't think you're not that much in danger where you need to make this type of play right now, I don't think.
I didn't see the names come up, but listening through like the team chat while I was actually casting, there's a lot of yelling actually that it actually disturbed me while I was trying to cast because a few F-bombs here and there. So I guess they really weren't satisfied with the way they executed this B site, and now they're going for that tilt buy. That's why you mentioned that that weird buy.
The only thing I can think of is they know that Coast's money is like dead in the water. If they can win around that, they will, reset them and force Coast to probably double save, to be honest. And then now all of a sudden you're right back at a 10-10 score. So there is that possibility, but it is a huge risk because if you lose this round, you yourself are going to be in some saving territory for a couple of rounds. So.
But look at it again, like Silent went for the op, he went for full armor, he went for full nades as well, and really they had the guy Streber just trying to go for body peaks instead of trying to go for an op pick to start things off. So they're just men soloing right now. Justin's inside the site, gonna try to win this against Invert with success, but quickly traded out by Drake, looking for some rotation, looking for some health. They do get the flashes into the site. They're gonna try to overtake it towards Elbow, but look at that. Now they have an op, a Glock, and a Deagle left to work with.
Yeah, and I mean, Drake is hearing all of this, but he will fall back. They're just going to retake together up the catwalk, leaving Drawsole to just kind of play from long A by himself for a moment. Puts down Incendiary, but he misses it. Doesn't land where he needs it to, and Silent does pick him up with the op, and now we have a 3 versus 3, so all of a sudden it's a post-plan situation that's even numbers and Method. They have a chance to actually do this and force Coast into a really bad way.
A trade comes through. Toy gets the first one at Elbow, hiding behind the barrels. It's Ely, but he couldn't connect the shots. Now Silent whiffs the shot as well with the up, but he gets the headshot onto Dumore. But then on the 1 versus 1, Stanislaw comes in to capitalize on that kill. The defuse comes across. He's gonna pick that up after, but at least they get a bomb plant, and at least they get 4 kills for Method there, because it's gonna be another broken buy for Coast, which could be another gamble buy for Method here.
Well, I mean, the difference between getting that bomb plant and getting those kills, the difference between them taking like a single save here or maybe being forced into like a double save situation, to be honest, as low as their money was. So that does help them out. You can see that they are still buying pretty heavy on a lot of players here, except for Toy. Toy does have a little bit of a reserve. Never mind, actually, he just bought it down to 350. So, yeah, they just force buy again, trying to see if they can't punish Coast Economy. It didn't work last round. They're going to give it a shot again. We see them gathered up in B tunnels, and we know they like their B rush last night against Follow Esports. They're pulling a nice rotation off of B before they hit, too. So maybe this could work, but Stanislaw is still here with that M4, and that rotation's not too far away with Dumore.
So they went for that 4 spot. They're looking to go for that plow into the B, which has worked a lot against FE yesterday. Can it work this time? So far, so good, because it's such a passive play for Coast on the outside B. They actually focus more towards mid, and that gives a chance now for Silent to lurk out towards mid double doors and cut the cross.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really, really well done. I mean, it's just Coast dedicating to the mid part of that hit, thinking that the majority of numbers would be coming from the double doors, but they were wrong. Everyone came from tunnels except for Silent, who's just cutting off rotates, and he's doing it pretty well to slow it down, but it's still a 4-on-4 retake. At the end of the day, everyone from Coast will be coming from outside B, so Toy will be a key player here inside the tunnels to try to play this late round.
The flash comes through. People are pushing towards the window. 1, 2. They line up out, and it's only going to be Invert, the last man standing. He's clutched it before. Drops 2 with the 5-7, but then Toy, as you said, had to play a big round towards the B tunnels, gets the kill, and Method actually resets the money back on Team Coast.
Yeah, just unfortunate for Coast there, you know, trying to play outside B instead of inside B. Method more prone to just do really heavy B rushes out the tunnels rather than the double doors. That's just kind of a trend that we've seen displayed. Maybe Coast didn't pick up on that, didn't watch him last night. But Method did finally accomplish their goal with their 4 spies to put Coast into a really tough economic way. I mean, Coast is going to be double saving this round and next round, so this is a chance for Method to work closer to that tie, unless they fall prey to some type of eco, but I don't see that happening.
Well, it's going to be a battle here as they push towards upper B. They do spot 1, but he's going to manage to get out of it unscathed. It's going to be Drake making his way down towards lower B now. We're in the eyes of Toy, though. And Toy's making his way just to wait for the bomb, and they're going to try to take over this mid control. It's going to be dancing with the devil here against the double doors player, which is going to be Invert. But really, they're just waiting for the CTs to come to them.
Yeah, I mean, the CTs are just getting pushy all across the map, and B-Tunnel Sherbers already caught on to that. Now it's happening at long A. Dumore does get a kill and picks up a silence and 4 for his troubles. They do have a 3 versus 4, and they have a guy in lower B with a lot of information, which has allowed them to keep 2 players over at the A side of the map. Plus, he might be able to cut somebody off, but he does get spotted by Silent. Well, okay, he hits the ridiculous shot in the second one, though. Yeah, and now Method will be able to work into the B-bomb site now for free.
Yep. So right now, Dumore is going to be probably saving his M4 at this point, and Invert's going to set up to go for an exit kill. Yeah, so Dumore's already making his way towards CT spawn, towards T spawn, then towards long. Bomb is planted in default spot, so Invert's just going to try to play the smoke and try to go for the one-way kill. Oh, he hits the think! Oh, puts him down to 6 HP, but Silent then wins that fight at the end of the day. Bomb is going to go off with time, and they're not going for the hunt, though. They're just way too far to try to get Dumore right now.
I mean, Coast's going to get $1,900 in next round. It's not really enough to do any type of full buy with it or anything like that, despite Dumore saving this M4. But they could buy some upgraded pistols and try to make a play with this one M4 and a few 5.7s or something like that. So it gives them a chance to pose a slight threat next round, or at least a bit more than had they not have saved anything at all here. But still a great chance for Method to keep closing this gap on the scoreboard and work closer to a tie situation.
So Method slowly edging toward back in this game as they take over the easier side of Terrorists on Dust 2. They need 2 more rounds to tie things up as we're going to see another save situation for Team Coast. So they're on a good route to make it a 10-11 score overall, still in favor of the counter-terrorist team of Coast so far. They go for the boost up on Catwalk for the aggressive push. Meanwhile, we're trying to clear towards B for the terrorist side.
Yeah, just a huge push here on the catwalk, just surrounding Dumor's M4. That way they can pick it back up if he goes down, but also so they can try to make a play here. Invert just real passive peeking long A there from the cross. Stanislaw just playing pretty passive at window and B. They're just going to try to play a retake no matter what here, unless they can get a favorable battle over here in mid at the catwalk area, which they still haven't been discovered yet, but Strebber's in a perfect position to pick this up, but they do walk out. He finally spots it, and he immediately takes one down. Dumor unable to trade. Drake does get a kill, but, I mean, they're falling apart now.
Yeah, Science still towards T-spawn as well, supporting his team, or his fallen teammate, and trying to prevent actually the CTs from picking up that AK-47 or the M4 left behind by Dumor and Strebber, respectively. So now it's a 4 versus 2. Bomb's going to get planted inside the A site. Stanislaw is going to be able to salvage the AK for now, and they're just going to try to look for exits to try to have him save, while Invert is going to try to make his way back towards this mid area to pick up the M4.
Right, so a couple of guns have been picked up here by Coast, and we'll see if they're able to hold on to them. That's going to save them a little bit of money going into the next round if they can hold on to these 2 guns. Of course, they will have money to buy no matter what next round, but this would just help a bit if they can keep these, as Ely will push here to lower B tunnels, and Stanislaw able to pick it up there. Toy will also give chase in the exact same spot, and Stanislaw does peek out a little bit too far there, and Toy does take the head off, and Invert gets caught as well. So no saves, but again, still money here for Coast to buy with. Now we should see them back in a stronger position. Let's just see how they play. We've only really seen 1 gun round out of Coast, and it was just unfortunate that they kind of double stacked outside B and lost to a B tunnels rush. So we'll see how it plays out this time around. And
they lose this one. They're going back on a save again. So they're going to have to play this a little bit more smart for the terrorist side, as they're trying to take control of this long A. But it is actually very passive for the CT side. They heard a few grenades being thrown at first, and then they're just going to boost inside the site and play long, and give up long, actually, for CT side. What do you think about that?
Well, they played the NOA, so I thought they'd be more strong towards long, because now they have all the information if anyone's ever coming cat or mid, but they're just going to play really passive on the A-bomb side, so that is kind of odd. I think the better combo is a strong long A with this NOA, but they're just playing real focused on the retake on the A-bomb side if the attack comes there. Plus, they're in really quick rotation positions for any type of B hit, as well as being able to defend mid with 3 players, basically. So, I mean, they have a lot of options from this setup. We'll have to see what Method wants to do here. It seems like they are staging up at the back of Cat to either work into mid or just work up the catwalk, since that smoke is on the top of the X-bomb.
Oh, that molly. That incendiary grenade was quickly dispatched there as it touched a little bit of that smoke, and it got taken down. And this leaves actually Drake so open right now. Good thing they go for that counter smoke to give him a chance to get a better position. No, he's just going to stay there. That is crazy. So he's out in the open at quad. First one's going to peek out, gets the first kill, and then it's quickly traded out. There you go. Bad positioning there, despite the NOA stack. Should have seen that coming.
Yeah, especially since Stanislaw took some spam damage through the smokes. They knew they were coming up cat. The only thing I could think of was just trying to play an off angle and catch someone off guard. That's still a one and done spot, basically, and he does get the one, but that's going to be it. And now Method in great, perfect, post plan position. Son already picking up the long A flank, and it's just up to Dumor and Invert now in a 2 versus 4, and I can't see him winning this.
Nope.
Especially now that Dumor is all alone.
Yeah, and I just chuckled a bit because Stanislaw actually flashed himself by lobbing over that lobbing that flash grenade over at long A. Luckily for Silent, though, he was behind that pillar that gave him enough flash coverage. Just like that, they're going to try to take Dumor down as the bomb is going to go off. He's at 11 HP. They're still going to hunt him down, though. It's going to be Toy. And he will not be able to take him down, so Dumor saves that weapon. But overall, we're now tied up 11-11 with Method coming back in this game.
Yeah, just doing really good to get up the catwalk there, using that smoke on the top of Xbox to pretty much kill any type of impact that NOA might have had. And then again, as you noted, kind of Drake playing a weird spot there at the quad box, kind of stuck out by himself. trying to play an off angle, but didn't really make much of a play out of it, just an even trade, and that's going to favor Method all day as they've been on a bit of a streak here. 4 rounds in a row for Method, doing good. Coast is forced to save this round, so a chance to take the lead for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, and the M4 is at the wrong place, but at least Drossel is able to get the first blood, but quickly traded out by Justin and Strebber precisely as they overtake the speed bomb side. Bomb's going to get planted, and they're just going to hold it out now. So Dumore with the M4 gets a nice spam to put Justin down to 13 HP, but at the end of that, I think they'll just look for the save.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Dumore has a lot to save here with a kit, armor, as well as some utility and that M4. So definitely wise for him to just go ahead and back off and concede this round. So Method, it's been a little while since they've had the lead, but they do finally have it back. And we'll just see if they can hold on to it. They've been playing a pretty good T-side so far. I mean, this will be 5 rounds in a row for them. The only thing that really hurt them this round was kind of losing that second round to the Force Spy after winning Pistol. But other than that, they've been on point here in the second half. We can see that compared to yesterday, they have a lot more in their playbook. They aren't just committing to one thing. In fact, I think they've only rushed B once this entire half. So they've really just been working that A side of the map a lot more, and they've had a lot of success with it. With the double ops out, Vansilli here for Coast. Stanislaw probably has it at the back of B. Invert will be floating around mid in the cat cross, so this will be the first time we see this tonight.
It's crazy how the double op setup is actually both at middle as well. One watching upper, one watching lower, but they're not going to see anybody cross over. So now it's actually Toy stuck right at the blue dumpster at long A with a crossfire setup between Drake and Drossel, so they know exactly where he's at. Smoke's being thrown, but he's just going to hold it the whole time. Drake maybe at this point thinks that Toy rotated out. Yeah, they're creeping up.
Maybe so.
Yeah, they're actually creeping forward towards there.
Yeah, absolutely. They don't, in fact, know that he's just sitting right here. So Toy has a chance a little bit later on to just really shock somebody as Drossel is just holding the corner here, holding the door, and they're just chilling out right next to each other, man.
Naked Gun 2.5.
What is that dating show where you can't see the partner you're talking to? You can just like ask them questions, but they're on the other side.
I didn't watch that. Dust.
Okay.
I went outside and played at the park.
I feel like that's what they're doing right now. Like Drossel is like interviewing Toy, like, so what is your idea of an ideal date? But he can't actually see how attractive Toy is or not, so he just got to bank on the questions here.
But the thing is, he is. They're going to try to take over this catwalk area now for Method, and it's actually played very passively one more time for Coast. And now Drossel, there you go, we called it before. He came out from the dumpster spot, and Toy heard it. He came across, got the kill, but Drake still stays alive and finally gets taken down by Silent. But Silent had 18 HP remaining. Imagine if it actually got that third kill. Now Dumore, jump shot, gets the kill. Invert with the P250. And now it's a 2 versus 1, just like that. But Toy, it's not planted for him either. But at least he has good positioning. Well, actually, it is planted for him. It's planted for long. He's actually playing inside the pit. He's going to throw the molly. He's got to get the first kill. 1 versus 1, and Invert gets the op shot. Thinking that actually Invert already made it inside the site for the defuse. He gets caught. The defuse comes through, and we're back to a tied game.
I mean, what a chaotic round that was. I mean, Toy, in fact, from his position at Blue Bin, did have a huge impact in the round there with those kills, but it was Drake at Goose with the 2 frags. That was massive. That got his team into more of an even number situation and bought time for the rest of the rotation to come in. And then Invert able to win that 1 versus 1. So great job. I thought Method had that round in the bag, but somehow Coast figured out a way to make the retake possible, and now they've tied the game right back up here. Now they do need to worry about their money being reset. That is a huge risk, but here comes the B rush. They're getting so much damage with that fire, and Dumore and Stanislaw lighting them up the rest of the way. What a hold.
Oh boy. Yeah. They're just questioning why they actually tried to go through that after all. If it wasn't for a molly, there was a smoke coming through across as well, which was going to make it really hard for Method to overtake the B boss. And now on top of that, they dropped the bomb inside the B site. There's only going to be one lurking around. It's going to be Strebber towards CT spawn, so he's going to have to try to get something done. Does not work. Toy's going to be the last man standing. At least he's able to take down Drossel, but the guys for the CT side are closing in towards the B bomb site, knowing that he's now trapped inside B tunnels, flanked by Drake. That's it.
And I mean, it's just Method going back to that B rush. We saw them do time and time again last night, but they ate so much damage from an incendiary, and then Stanislaw and Dumore put up a great initial hold with those M4s, and they avoid the money reset. Method still has enough cash to buy up here, but one more loss and they may not. So this is a really big round for both teams, actually. Both teams' economy in the dumpsters right now, so this is huge. Also, a shout out to Waffles OMD in chat. It's called The Dating Game was the name of the show, so appreciate that, man.
That's pretty straightforward for the question you asked.
Yeah, I know.
Silent got legged down to 18 HP at the beginning of this round. As the CT side did maintain that double op setup. And now they're going to put one towards the back of the platform. It's going to be Stanislaw in the back of the box. And the other opper is going to be up towards this elevator, I think, if I'm not mistaken, from where Invert is playing.
I mean, Invert just has that aggressive position, just looking for the cat cross. It's the first time we've really seen him do this.
Cat, yeah.
So that's kind of neat, this changing things up, putting into a different position. Method so far not really going to be near that. They're just kind of working mid at first, but they certainly could eventually work themselves up cat, in which case Invert should be able to get one kill before dropping down to kind of get the numbers in his advantage, as you do see them begin to stage up over there.
Yeah, so we're going to see how Invert's going to do it. The flash comes up, so Invert cannot spot anybody for the frag. Nate, is it going to hurt? Silent? No. Silent stays alive. It was a little bit too far up front towards that staircase. So Invert's going to fall back and watch toward mid door, but now Catwalk is open with only one guy playing inside the site, which is going to be Drake. And Drake is actually playing the smoke to his advantage. He hears a lot of footsteps, but he's just hiding it out. Peekaboo, but traded out by Silent.
He gets the high health player, though. Silent's still up with really low HP, so Coast does have a slight edge here on this retake. The bomb still isn't planning it, and Drossel playing the blue bin. This time he'll pick up Ely, and so now they have a man advantage here going on to this retake, and this is a massive round to win. It's basically a free ride to map point.
And it's so tough. If only you got that frag onto Drossel, because now they're going to close in from two areas. 2-on-2, 2-on-1. Now in favor of Method, they're just tapping everything over. Now Stanislaw is the last man standing. Oh no, now Justin gets dinked through the box. They're both at low health. They're still playing that peekaboo game at the boxes. Now they're both so low. Now it's Stanislaw at 20, Silent at 18, and it's going to be Silent that wins it with a P250. And we talked about butt clenches yesterday. There's more today.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you think Coast has that. It's a 3 versus 2. They've done great work. They have players really low HP. They're both stuck inside the site. Unfortunately, Coast didn't have like any nades or incendiaries left to flush them out of position. So basically, Silent and Justin just had to try to hold their ground in the site. And obviously, those cheeks were tight, man. People are pushing in from left and right. They're stuck in there, but they land the kills. That's all that matters. Stanislaw, in fact, runs out of bullets on both his guns. In that 1 versus 2 at the end. They were just being able to jiggle peek him so well behind those boxes and kind of bait some shots out. And they win the round, and now Coast basically forced to save here. So Method a chance to take the lead right back at this point, as we do have a tactical timeout coming in. I'm not sure from which side. I would expect it's Coast taking this timeout.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to figure out how they want to manage the economy right now, because they won one, lost one at this point. The money is sort of reset, but thankfully for them, they actually won 2 rounds in a row prior to that. So you saw Stanislaw right now and Drossel that could buy into the next round if they go for a full save. So I think they're going to try to figure out if they want to drop for pistols and go 5-7 stacks, if they would just want to go full save and then try to manage the economy for the round after. But if they go for full saves and they get $1,900 on the round after, then everybody's going to be able to buy. But then at that point, it's 14-13 for Method. And then if they go for that full buy and Method wins that one, they're at 15-13, and they have no money to work with. So I think it's going to have to be possibly a smart buy in how they want to stack it on the CT side to at least hurt the economy of Method and make it closer for the round after. Because if you're looking at the scoreboard for Method's side, their money is also very, very low.
Absolutely. The thing is, though, is Coast can't really punish that this round. So if Method can win this next round clean, they would be able to, you know, somewhat solve that problem, at least moving into their map point attempt. But so far, the way this half has played out, it's mostly been Method. I mean, they've had a great T-side, short of that little hiccup at the beginning of the half where they got, I guess, ecoed there on the second round of the half. They've been pretty good when it comes to the rifle rounds. They've only dropped 2 out of 7 played or something like that. So, I mean, they're doing pretty solid here. Looking much better than last night for sure. They seem to be a bit more diverse. They seem to have some more options to go to. They're not reliant on just bullying people and playing in duels and winning them. They're actually able to manipulate their rotations pretty well tonight and just be able to make some key plays as well in some tight situations.
So let's see what we got here. So we got the 5-7s for the guys that actually had enough money to go for 5-7 buys. So they are going to play the safe route. But they're not playing for stacks. They're just going for that default 2-1-2, pushing aggressively towards long. No trades coming through, and that's easily denied there towards long A for Method, who actually push 4 guys to move up for support and go for trades if necessary. But they make out of it flawlessly. They get dinked Ashley Strubber's down to 1 HP with the 2 guys towards CT spawn for the CT team of Coast, but just like that, the round's going to come in for Method.
They try to do a little bit of a cheeky jump peek there to stop the bomb from planting, but Justin on top of things there, and that's the round easily here for Method. To be expected, Coast didn't have really anything invested into that round. That means that Method will move up to 14, but Coast, they're going to have the money to contest now as Method goes for map point. But it's still a little bit limited here. I mean, it's not like they have all the money in the world to do exactly what they want to do. In fact, Drake and Dumore have to sit on FAMASas just to be able to afford some utility and the proper armor, and we do have the op being a glass cannon here on Invert, so...
well, he does have small armor, yeah.
He did just pick it up at the
just
end
no
there.
Kits.
Right. That is huge that no one has a kit.
If only had all the money in the world. So actually they went for 3 guys towards long for Team Coast. They also threw an incendiary grenade into the long doors just to give them more time to set up. And they're just going to wait it out and make sure that the coast is clear, no pun intended, until they fall back towards the A site and just leave one up towards long and support more towards middle. As it seems on T side they're going for this mid to B very soon.
Yeah, Stanislaw is in a pretty good spot, and he hasn't played this before, so he could easily catch somebody off guard coming out mid to B here. So we'll see if that does come to fruition, because this is a really powerful spot to play. Freakazoid's made this spot pretty famous with Cloud9 recently, busting some big mid to B plays. So now we'll see if Stanislaw can do it.
Yeah, he sees one. Sees the second one, legs him a bit. Silent is close. Throws a molly that just gets thrown inside the smoke. So that's $600. That's just, or $500 that's just wasted. Or I guess it's cheaper on T side, right? Anyway, Stanislaw is still dropping another one there.
It actually did force Stanislaw off the double stack boxes there for a second.
Yeah, weird, but it worked.
Yeah, and now Team Coast, a great chance to tie this thing back up. They have a 4-on-2. Stanislaw did great to get those 2 kills to bust him in the B split. Now they just need to complete the retake.
So now they've actually made it inside the window side, and just 3 of them dropped simultaneously with that 4. What a hold there for the T side of Method after all.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, I thought that Coast would get that. They had a 4-on-2. Stanislaw did such a great job busting the mid portion of that attack, but on the other hand, Method were able to actually push the B site defender because there's only one guy there. They had 3A and Stanislaw and CT spawn, so there was only one guy holding the B tunnel as part of that attack, and he went down pretty early in the round, and then Method is able to hold the site in the post plant very well. Each guy getting 2 frags inside B there, and now look at this. Coast has basically nothing to work with on what could be the final round of the map. They have to come up huge here to push this map further.
Yeah, and so lucky for Silent there that he was going up against a scout and not an op, because if not, he would have lost it against Invert. But so far, things looking to turn around for the side of Coast, actually, because they're able to dispatch towards this B side thanks to Dumore. He's going to pick up a gun out of that, and now 2 of them are lit for Team Method, which still gives them a chance to overtake this, because now they throw a molly, and then they throw a smoke on top of it, and then Ely gets headshotted, draws the bomb carrier, and now it's a winnable situation for Coast, just like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to be able to put this one away here. Looks like they are going to claim Dust 2 for themselves, unless we see these 2 guys from Coast come up massive here, but so far, not the case, as it's just going to be Invert with the scout now. Bomb is being planted. He does sneak around. He does grab Silent. The other guy's really low on HP. He's just got 1 HP. He's trying to jump peek him, but no, it doesn't work. Oh, my goodness. What a round in Method. They're going to put the exclamation point on it, winning it in a pretty hilarious fashion, but nonetheless, it is a W on Dust 2 here for Method.
Well, it looks like he could at least tag the dash 1 HP there for Strebber at the end. At least they should have had a little bit of communication on Coast's side, knowing that Strebber should have been lit on that 1 versus 1 situation. Nonetheless, though, great round and a great map, actually, for Method to win this first one, 16-13, their map choice, and throws out my prediction for this matchup tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you did pick Method to win, so... You know,
no, I actually took Coast 2-0.
Oh, I thought I took Coast 2-0 and you took Method 2-0.
Oh, yeah, I got right.
I took Coast 2-0 as well, so I also lost. So, with that said, we are going to move on to Mirage next map. Now, just to kind of remind you guys, this is a map that Method's actually been pretty good on. They're, I believe, 4-0 on it. They've won it all 3 times they've played it here in CEVO against Mortality, Winter Fox, and Fellow Esports. And they also beat Complexity on it recently over in ESEA, whereas when you look over at Coast on Mirage, they have only played it once here in CEVO, and they lost. That was to CLG, and they played it no other times than that. So, despite the fact that this is, in fact, Costa's pick. Method's shown us a little bit better result on, so they do have maybe a slight edge to actually win the whole series. Unless Costa's cooked up something, been practicing their Mirage, and has something for us there. So we'll just have to see as the next map will be coming soon.